First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. Thanks for joining us. We are live streaming here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. And as you may know, we are here every weekday starting at 1 p.m. and going throughout the afternoon. We cover a wide range of topics here on this show. But something we love to talk about are the communities in the Northwest, in particular here for Oregon for this segment. And we're going to be talking about Travel Oregon's community grant program and one of the ways that it can, well, some of the ways, many ways really, that it can help out different local communities and organizations to bring in more tourism dollars and just enrich those areas for the people that live there. And so we're going to talk about that right now. We're joined by Allie Gardner from Travel Oregon. And Allie, always great to have you here on the show to talk about this and just, you know, the different things that are going on around the state. But as one thing I like to do is, if people don't know, is to just give them an overview, you know, of what these organizations are. And maybe if you wouldn't mind doing that for Travel Oregon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Greg. So Travel Oregon is the Oregon State Tourism Commission. So we are funded by a 1.5% transient lodging tax, which is basically a visitor tax on overnight stays, hotels, motels, campgrounds, short-term rentals. And we use that money to advertise and promote the state to domestic and international tourists. We also use that money to what we call destination management, so helped drive our tourism towards being sustainable and healthy, welcoming for all, and respectful of the environment. And we also reinvest back in communities across the state. So a portion of our budget, 10% of our annual budget every year, is set aside for a competitive grants program, which we reinvest that money back into communities for the purposes of enhancing or improving or promoting tourism. And so we give these grants out to nonprofit entities, local governments, port districts, tribes, and typically we have guidelines every year that sort of direct offer direction and guidance to what the grants should gear towards, and always striving to align with our 10-year strategic vision that Oregon is a welcoming destination for all.
Which is fantastic. And I just want to correct, I had community grant program there on the bottom, on the lower third. So just want to make sure that was corrected on their competitive grant program. But yeah, just the way that you know, can really help out some of these organizations. And I saw some of the list of some of the ones, and I'm sure there's many, but would you mind sharing with us maybe some specific things that people would know that this came from?
Sure, yeah. So one of our big initiatives over the past few years has been to combine our grants program with investments and partnerships in removing or eliminating barriers to access for visitors with disabilities. And so our last two grant cycles have focused on accessibility improvements and projects, and we recently partnered with an organization called Wheel the World, which is a online travel platform for visitors with disabilities. And through all these efforts and collaborations with our region and tourism owners and business operators across the state, Oregon just became the first state to be accessibility verified, which means that visitors can travel here knowing exactly what to expect in terms of accessibility. And we have accessible regions and itineraries in every region of the state, which includes some of what makes Oregon so special as our outdoor recreation. So we've made great strides in making some of those amazing outdoor experiences accessible to everyone.
And I was just going to ask you a quick question about that one, because it is so cool, you know, and the accessibility aspect of it. Like, how important is that for, you know, bringing, when you look at it from I guess an economic standpoint and a tourism standpoint, let alone the humanity standpoint, how important is that for bringing in people from outside of state to travel for something like this?
Yeah, it's very important. And so we saw there's sort of this huge potential of market share really geared toward visitors with disabilities, that it can be pretty daunting, I think, to travel when you have either a visible or non-visible disability. And part of that apprehension, I think, is not knowing what to expect when you get there. Will the wheelchair be able to fit down the hallway? Will my son with autism be able to get through the airport without being overstimulated? I mean, these are questions that they're really hard to find answers to. And so this effort, part of it was really based on making all that information visible and transparent. And so people can plan their trips with confidence, so they know they can come here. And it's a huge potential market across not only the US, but also internationally for people looking somewhere to come to the States where they'll know what to expect. So we really think it sets Oregon apart and really taking advantage of this opportunity. Not to mention it's really great for the visitor experience and also people who live here. So it also benefits residents with disabilities or those of us, probably all of us eventually, maybe aging into gracefully, maybe having some mobility challenges or other disabilities, so that we can continue to go to the Oregon coast and get on the sand in our golden years with our family and many more things like that.
Absolutely, and it's got to be such a relief for people to not have to, as you mentioned, like not have to worry about it. To be like, okay, I'm going to go there. I know I'll be fine. Like I know
Yes.
I'll be able to do what I want to do, and not
Yes.
have to get there and be turned away. Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, exactly. And not to mention, they'll also be able to take advantage of really cool outdoor recreation experiences. Like I mentioned, getting out onto the beach at the beautiful Oregon coast is kind of, a once in a lifetime experience for many people. And you can do that in a wheelchair now. You can go old growth tree climbing in Silver Falls State Park, accessible in a wheelchair. So you can accessible kayaking and even hiking out at Smith Rock. So there's so many great adventures that are now available for everyone.
That's fantastic. I know you were going to mention a couple of other ones too, just of some things, that people might notice.
Yeah, sure. So we have given, you might have seen that we've also, one of our other big efforts was to designate the dark sky sanctuary that we have in southern and central and eastern parts of eastern Oregon. And we've been working to support communities. A great example is Antelope, Oregon, really small rural community, has recently become the state's first international dark sky community. And we've been investing through grants and other investments into that town. And now there's a wonderful bike camping spot. It's a great spot on the cycling route. And people are visiting Antelope now, and they're building a tourism economy basically from scratch, which is very exciting. In Portland, this wasn't exactly a grant, but it was a sponsorship. We gave the first $500,000 to the James Beard Public Market, which will be opening in 2027. Super exciting, and we know that will be a huge tourist draw while also being a huge benefit for residents. I can't wait to shop there myself. In Eastern Oregon, we gave $120,000 to the Joseph Branch Trail Consortium to do accessible trails. So things like outdoor venues and the Oregon Zoo or the Hoyt Arboretum or the Lansu Chinese Garden, all of these places have received funds, grant funds from us over the years.
Wow. I mean, that's such a diverse range of different, things that people can get involved in. All of them sound like a lot of fun. All of them sound great. But for various, communities showing that kind of breadth of different opportunities that are out there, how can communities apply and get involved with the competitive grant program?
Yeah, great. So we open the grant program annually, and we publish a set of guidelines that really talks about the focus of the grants. And then we open up a letter of intent period, which is potential applicants will submit a letter of intent. Our grants team will review those and then work with those applicants to determine if they would possibly have a successful application or if there's more work that needs to be done. And then the grants, there's an application process, and then the grants are reviewed by an entire team, evaluated against our strategic vision, and then awarded. So we do have a grant cycle opening up this year. So in April, we will open the letter of intent period. And then in September, we'll be making grant announcements. So it's very exciting. It's really, it's very meaningful, rewarding work to do.
It's got to be. And for those organizations out there, whatever it may be, that want to apply, what are some things that you're looking for?
Well, so this year is interesting. We're opening up a large grant award cycle this year, which means that we're going to be awarding projects up to $500,000 each, which is larger than what we've done in recent years. And that's really to try to identify and fund some big, possibly catalytic investments in the tourism industry that could be real game changers. And so we're always looking for this year, and it's going to be focused on how do we create more how do we increase visitor spending, overnight stays in Oregon, and also those sort of shoulder season visitation numbers. So all times of year, basically. So year-round increases in visitor spending is what we're looking for this year.
All right. So if somebody out there can start thinking about that now for that
Yeah.
application process. Now we can go through it.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Well, Allie, anything else that you think is important for people to know?
I think, well, one thing, in addition to grants, we also reinvest 20% of our annual budget back into what we call a Regional Cooperative Tourism Program, which are programs and projects that we do hand in hand with our regional partners. And so in total, it's actually 30% of our budget that goes right back into the communities. I think since 2027, we have reinvested $89 million back into communities across the state. So, and it's all with the aim of making Oregon a welcoming destination for all while improving the quality of life for the people who live here.
Well, great work on that, and a lot of out there that people can go enjoy, whether you're a tourist or somebody who lives in the state. I mean, that's still, there's amazing things there to go be a part of. So thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 12 Now to go through this too, and let people know about it.
Thank you. Appreciate your time, Greg.
You too. And for everybody watching, this is Fox 12 Now. We're going to go ahead and take a break. You'll see programming switch for just a little bit, but I'll be here throughout the afternoon until 4 o'clock. We've got more segments and interviews coming up, but also if there's breaking news, we'll be here for you for that as well. But until then, I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.